Who's the next victim?
Danny Wicked.
Danny Wicked. Ha ha ha. Is there Danny? There he is. What's going on, dude?
Not much, dude. There's like 500,000 people in Salem, Massachusetts right now, so I'm just staying as clear as I can from all of that. And
what are they doing there?
Absolutely nothing but walking in a big circle.
Are you from Salem originally?
Yes, I was born here in Salem and moved around a little bit, but I've been here for the most part, for the better part of the last 15 years.
And so, and these people come to Salem every year just to get scared or just because there was like a witch trial and shit?
Yeah, I mean, Salem has a history of witches and pirates and lots of old buildings, and, you know, the horror demographic, you know, it attracts, you know, there's just like a lot of horror people that come, and we have a monster museum here in town, and a lot of the artists in town do horror art. And so, yeah, it attracts that demographic too, which is cool.
And what does the community think of that? I mean, are they happy for like the influx of, I mean, not in COVID times, but in general, are they happy about this? Or they're like old people that live in Salem and it's like, oh, this is when the punks come to town, like that kind of
thing? Yeah, it's kind of like that. Right now, this year, it's really divided. You have, you know, a big group of the town that we're just trying to support the small businesses, but then a lot of locals, it's like the Angry Simpsons mob. And, you know, it's just, there's too many people in town right now.
Yeah. But, and are they all wearing masks? Are you like just hibernating, trying to wait till they all go away kind of thing?
Yeah. You know, 90% of them are wearing masks, but it's just like too congested right now.
Wow. And then this is going to this is going to go on all October, like till the end of the month?
October, yeah. So this is my first year. For the past few years, people that know me locally, I mean, I've made all my toys and at Scam Studios, which is like right on Essex Street in Salem, which is right in the heart of downtown. And this is my first year not having like a, you know, like a physical location in downtown where I'm making art every day and like painting pumpkins on the side. And, you know, I usually have that outlet to connect with people and tourists. And so yeah, this year it's a little bit different, just kind of staying clear and working on other things.
It's a little different for everyone, I think.
Yeah.
So are you a full-time artist? Do you have another gig or?
Yeah, you know, for the past few years, I've kind of been off and on. I'm always constantly doing something with art. But, you know, I also work in sign shops. You know, for the past year, I've been kind of, you know, between jobs, but for the past 18 years, I want to say I've been in and out of sign shops, doing graphics and hot rod art, flames on cars, everything, you know, just big mission.
And so do you do pinstriping and all that kind of stuff?
A little bit, yeah. My boss at the sign shop who taught me a lot is like a master pinstriper. So I learned a lot from him. And me and him would like paint rat fink monsters together, like in the shop after hours. And
wow.
So yeah, I practice some of that stuff.
So funny. just to be clear, sign painting is it's all, you're talking about hand done stuff. It's not like digital design. Wow.
So yeah, I'm kind of trained in the traditional ways of like doing the old fashioned stuff, but I do work a lot with vinyl graphics too, just not usually the digital wrap stuff.
Got it. That's amazing. And so how did you, so I guess this question I always ask everyone, I want to know, like, how did you come about starting to make resin figures? What was the first thing that you saw that drew you in, and what did you think about it when you first saw it?
So, I mean, I've always done different types of art, and I want to say it was in around like 2014 or 2015, I was starting to play more with old toys in my collection that weren't necessarily worth much, but I wanted to either like custom paint them or I kind of like started taking them apart and like building skeletons in them, you know, and making like weird stuff for people to buy here in Salem. And around that time, I think is when I saw pictures from the Vader project, but I didn't know that was you at the time. It was actually like another hot rod guy. I think an artist that did like a rat fink Vader helmet. So it was like showed up on a pinstriper website, and I was like, this is so cool, all these pieces.
David Chris, I think.
Yep.
Right? He's the one who
Yep,
did the
that's
rat
what it
fink.
is.
But then the other guy, Axis, did the candy coat with the German spike and
Yeah.
the cross.
So like Sith Lords on the back, like a biker gang, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are so cool. So I was exposed to that stuff, but I didn't, know that was you until about like a year or two ago, that like you had done that whole Vader project, which,
Right.
So, I was like playing around with like old Disney toys and like giving them skeletons and doing cool things. And someone had, that there was like a documentary video with the Suck Lord that had come out, and probably 4 or 5 friends shared that with me in like a course of a week.
You remember? You remember which one that was? Was that the one where he's sitting there and he's just like sanding, and they keep cutting back to him sanding, and they just, I don't know, they must have like recorded him sanding for an hour, because every minute he just kept kind of sanding like a little crazy man is like sanding in the corner.
Yep. Yeah.
That was it.
The one. And I had seen his stuff before and like a few other artists, but I wasn't really, in following the scene much. But I was making art with old toys. And, one of the things I did was I made that giant Bartfinger sculpture.
Right.
And it was Dead Greedy who saw that. He was like following my art at the time, and he was like, "You really got to make a resin toy out of this." And it was, I had wanted to do one for a while, but that's what had really pushed me to buy some silicone and some resin and like kind of teach myself how to make a mold and start doing it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So then, so the first figure you did for us was the Bartfinger, right? That was New York.
Yep.
2016, 2017.
I actually have one right here. I'm at my friend's place right now, and she's a collector. So I got one right here. This is it.
Wow. It was so good. And the little bite out of it was so good. But then also the vinyl packaging. You want to show that? Like,
this is where like kind of the science shop background came in. Like I had access to the vinyl, and I just played around with making stuck 2 pieces together so it wasn't sticky on the inside, and made a sleeve for it.
So cool.
Works fairly well. And
then what was interesting is usually people come to me and say they want to do something, and when it's not a carded figure, I usually get really scared, because I figure like it doesn't really work on the table. And if you see this setup here, like if there's something that's kind of 3D without a card, you kind of just see right through it. It didn't seem to affect that at all. That tube you put it in just really, it really worked, and it spoke to people, and they would look at it. And this happens with a lot of different figures where, people look at a toy and I have to pick it up or tell them to turn it over, or tell them to read the back or show them something about it. And I call that kind of the aha moment, where they, reach their wallet and they start handing me money. And for your toy, it's kind of like when I pop the top open and I show it to them and they're like, cool. And then I slowly like reveal the bite and they're like, dope. And then I all the way down to the bottom, and it's signed and numbered on the back, and I put it, and then that's like the moment, like you can see it like transform in their mind, and it just went like ding, okay, let me give you money for that. It's one of my favorite moments, like, just watching that. It's the most rewarding thing about, there's so many annoying things about doing a convention, but that is the most rewarding, when someone just like, when you see it happen.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So let's talk about this figure here, which seems to have captured the imagination of just about everybody, because it's sold out.
What kind of psycho made that thing?
I don't know. And it's so funny because like the scale, like if you had made this like 3 3/4 inch scale, you'd be like 1.5 inches tall. And instead you chose to use this Taco Bell Yoda from like 1997. And it just, it really works.
Yep.
But I think my favorite detail is on the back, and it's, I started watching Cobra Kai because of you. And Scott Cherry also was like, dude, like you got to watch Cobra Kai. And I'm like, and I watched this and I kind of hate watch it, like, cause it's like my wife and I just sit there and like, why are we watching this? This is like the best, dumbest show I've ever seen. And it's like, it's so ridiculous, but like, you just can't stop watching. It's like the acting is so bad. There's a reason like you never got a job after that other movie. And this is like the only other job you could get. Right. But then it's like, I keep watching. And then the kids, like, it's just, the kids are fighting. It's like,
I know the fight scenes with the kids are so hardcore.
I don't know. I've just enjoyed watching the show so much, and I can't really explain
some of us,
why.
This is all we have left now because Star Wars is over. So it's like the Karate Kid Miyagi verse is like what we have now. And,
what did Ian say here? That's kind of harsh, Dove. Really? Is it? I mean, yeah, I'm sorry. It is harsh, but if you think about it, it's like, I mean, do you not agree that acting's horrible? I mean, the acting's horrible. Like,
it has that. It's got an 80s and early 90s sitcom charm.
Yes.
Like, I watch a lot of shows on TV, but like, I got sucked into Kobra Kai on YouTube when it premiered like 2 years ago. And my other toy releases I did with you, like this whole concept was kind of based on like a one-off piece I did. Like a few years ago, I had taken a vintage Miyagi and I kind of just turned him into a Jedi Master. It was like a one-off, toy bash piece where I just kind of threw Jedi robes on Mr. Miyagi and gave him a lightsaber and his little sponges for the wax on and wax off. But with the hype of the show and the Mandalorian, I thought it was like a good time to kind of revisit it. And I don't know, Miyagi and Yoda, it's like they say in the Karate Kid movies, different but same,
So I think my favorite image is this one right here in the middle, with him on his back.
This is for me, like not being able to go out at night anymore because of COVID. I was doing this at night to like give myself a laugh. Yep.
Let's close the chat so I can actually see this. And then these other images here. And this. Come on. And then the one with Elizabeth Shue with R5D4.
That's one of my favorites.
the twin sons and like
him practicing the kick. Yeah.
Just ridiculous.
Oh, I made way too many too. There's a lot more that didn't end
There's
up
a lot more. You texted me one the other day. Where was it? Please hold.
Maybe I can find it too.
Here it is. So fucking brilliant.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
Oh man.
Yep.
When I saw that, I just kind of lost my shit. It's so funny how, like, in my Instagram, like how many different artists have done like Mike Pence with the fly figures.
I saw at least 5 of them, I think, from a few friends of ours.
It's like, and you can't just say that everyone, because everyone's like, oh, he stole my idea. It's like, no, everyone just kind of went and did it. And
yeah,
it's like, I don't know why everyone has plastic flies sitting around. Halloween. It's Halloween. Right. Good.
Halloween.
Yeah.
No, it's one of those like culture phenomenon things that happens, and it's like when you saw it, I knew there was going to be, by the end of the night, I was going to see a fly action figure with Mike Pence, but they were really done really well. Just like with Baby Yoda, like within a day we were seeing people working on Baby Yoda toys. And
I think there's 100 artists that made Baby Yodas. It's crazy. Yeah. And crazy. Because they wouldn't allow, in order to get Baby Yoda toys on the market when The Mandalorian was out, they would have had to have released images to art departments, for all of the licensees, a year to 6 months ahead of time. And Disney said no. Disney decided they wanted to keep it secret. They didn't want it to leak. They didn't want anything. So I mean, to their credit, it made it cool, but they lost a lot of money because the first licensed products didn't come out for 6 months or a year or whatever. You know, it's a long time.
I think too, that's how like they did the original Star Wars line too, right? That didn't get started until like a month before the release date of the first movie, I think, or something like that. Like they didn't start making the toys, you know, like they didn't have Kenner and George Lucas didn't have everything ready to go, I think, until a month before the movie premiered.
Adam says, same reason there was no Yoda action figure in 1980. When, yeah. And I
Yeah.
remember like the back of the cards, they did that for the Ewoks, like on the back of the card, like they were just blacked out. It said Wicket, but there was like a big black blob on the back. Anyway, so what's next for you? Like, you gonna make toys the rest of your life?
You know, no, like I'm kind of, you know, if I think of a concept and I really want to do it, I'll do it. And I have something cool in mind for you that I could probably give you a peek at. Maybe if you did like a little check-in at DCon next month, I have something cool that I think would work for your event in March. Is that what you're saying now? Is it might be a DKE Con in March? I like that idea too. I think that's a better space out of like an event in November, March, and July, you know?
Yeah.
I think that'll be really cool. So I'll have something really cool for you for March for that event. And I can give you a little teaser next month.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. All right, dude. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it.
You guys are killing it. Thanks so much.
I appreciate all the hard work that you've done. This figure is fantastic. It was our first sellout of the show. You should be very proud.
It was a lot of fun. Thanks for, you know, giving me the outlet to do it. It's a blast and such a killer lineup this year. I wish I could get one of everything. So sick.
Well, hopefully one day I'll have a book. You can just own the book. Maybe that's bad. Maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot. Maybe people are like, I have the book. Now I'll sell my collection. It's like,
take the money now, take the book later.
All right, dude. Thank you again. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care. Take it easy, all right? Happy Halloween.
You too. Oh, that is fucked up. Everyone's going to Salem.